Hello there, it's the bariatric biologist here. I just wanted to do another little video. It's my surgery day tomorrow, so I thought this would be a good time to talk about my fears, because everybody all day at work, because my colleagues now have been asking me how I'm feeling, am I really nervous? And I'm kind of like, not that nervous. I'm more excited than nervous, but I am nervous. I'm more nervous actually about the aftermath than I am about the surgery itself. So what I've done is I've written a list of 10 fears that I have, and I've kind of ranked them. So I'm going to be going from 10 to 1, 1 being the thing I'm most worried about. Now, lots of these are equal concerns to me, but I've tried to put them in some kind of an order. But if you ask me on a different day, the order probably would be quite different. Okay, so first of all, number 10 is the surgery itself and anaesthesia. So I've never had a general anaesthetic before, so I'm a little bit worried about how my body would react to that, and the concerns over having surgery. Now, for a lot of people that's their biggest concern, but it's my number 10, because the probability of something happening, particularly at my age, I'm actually, even though I'm severely overweight, I'm quite healthy, so I'm not too worried about that one. So it's number 10. There is still this very, very slight little bit, but it's not significant. I think it's more of a concern for my husband actually. He seems quite nervous about the surgery. He doesn't seem worried about the aftermath at all, but it's the surgery itself that's worrying him. Okay, so number 9 is socialising after the surgery. Now, I won't be socialising, not really. I might pop and see somebody for the first 2 or 3 weeks anyway. But after that, I won't be able to eat very much. I won't be able to drink at the same time as eating. I won't be able to have fizzy drinks. Probably won't be drinking alcohol. So if people want to go out for dinner, I'll say yes, but I won't be able to eat, and I possibly won't enjoy it. And I'm worried about the questions like, oh, why aren't you eating? That kind of thing, and having to try and explain that away without having to go into quite personal details. So I am a little, it's only number 9, but I am a little concerned about socialising after the operation. Number 8. Now this one is very movable. It might not be number 8 on another time, but I'm a little bit worried that life won't be better after the surgery. I don't mean initially, I mean more long term. It's not very high up on my list because I've been slimmer before. I kind of do this thing where I lose loads of weight and put it back on again, lose it, put it back on again. So I have been slim before, and you know what? Life was better. But am I looking at that with rose-tinted spectacles? Possibly. And there's so many things I don't like about myself and about my life, and I genuinely think those things will get better. But I'm worried I'm putting too much importance on the weight loss and on those aspects of my life, and actually maybe afterwards things won't be as much better as I think they will be. Now it's number 8 because I genuinely think they will be significantly better, but there is this slight concern that they won't be. Number 7 is family and friends finding out. I haven't told my family, so my parents don't know, my husband's parents don't know, my siblings don't know, and my really, really close friends don't know. Outside that circle, people know. I think I've told people who wouldn't care as much, which might sound a little bit weird, and there's multiple different reasons for this. It's mainly because I don't know what their reaction would be. My husband's parents pass comment on people quite a lot, and they can be quite derogatory, so I think they see this in a derogatory light, and they're not very understanding about weight issues at all. My parents are very understanding about weight issues. I don't know how they would feel about surgery because they don't really ever pass comment on anybody or make negative statements about people or things. So I actually have no way of gauging their opinion on weight loss surgery. So I don't know how they'd feel. But the reason they haven't been told is actually because my mother would worry quite significantly. So there's a possibility that I might tell them after the surgery, but I wouldn't tell them before. Because then the worry's out of the way. because my mother worries quite significantly. So I wanted to spare her that, and I don't think she'll be insulted if she finds out later that I didn't tell her before. She'd probably understand the whole concern issue. And then the close friends is, again, I don't know what their reactions would be. That's it. I don't want people to look at me like, why did you do that? I hope they would be quite supportive, but I think they would be supportive of me being overweight and love me anyway, and that kind of thing, rather than me spending quite a lot of money to get a surgery to help me lose weight. So I don't know how they'd react, which is why they haven't been told, and if they find out, it concerns me. Number 6 is work after surgery. I've got 3 weeks off, so surgery's tomorrow, and then I've got 3 weeks not at work. Then I go back. Now, some people say that you should have 4 weeks off, and some people say you only need 2 weeks off. So that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But my dietitian was talking about, you're going to be really tired, you're going to be eating very few calories, you are going to struggle. My job takes quite a lot of brain power and quite a lot of energy. The hours are really long. I'm not sure I'm going to cope. I'm on really low calories now, and I'm coping. Just about. I mean, I'm coping. There's the odd occasion when I'm like confused and struggling to concentrate, yes. But I wonder what would happen if it was long term and there was also me trying to recover from reasonably major surgery. So I am concerned about how I will deal at work when I first go back. The next one is frustration over food. I'm really worried that when I've got this tiny little stomach that's the size of 2 tablespoons, that I will want to eat something sizable and I'll be frustrated because I can't. Sounds silly because, of course, isn't that why you're getting the surgery? Yes, it is, to stop myself doing that, but I'm concerned that it will frustrate me too much, like that I will find that too difficult and will really struggle and then sit there regretting the surgery, even temporarily, because it's a long-term game. And weight loss is the thing I want most in the world. But I can imagine some very frustrating days. Also, my way of emotionally coping is often to binge eat. My cat just knocked over a photo frame that I'm really, really fond of, and it's part of a pear, and now my mantelpiece looks totally wrong. She knocked it over and it smashed into smithereens. It's this beautiful, sparkly photo frame with some of my wedding photos in it. And she knocked it over, smashed into pieces, and the first thing I wanted to do was eat. I did eat, because I was upset, but I ate what I was allowed to eat. So, it's okay. I was going to save those calories for later in the day, but I ate them now. And I just wonder, how am I going to emotionally cope without food? And actually part of doing the surgery is to force me to have other ways of emotionally coping other than reaching for food. But I just don't know what those are. I don't have other coping strategies. I've been trying to come up with some. I had a therapist once that was helping me lose weight, who was trying to help me come up with ones, and I did come up with some, but they're not what I naturally reach for. The things I don't want to do when I'm upset. So I'm worried about frustration. I'm also a little bit worried about my relationship with food, and I think these are hugely overlapping, and I've almost already talked about it. So there's the worry about being frustrated when I can't eat when I want to, and there's the worry about it changing my relationship with food. That is why I'm doing the surgery. So I essentially want it to change my relationship with food, but I'm concerned that I won't like it, that I'll regret it because my relationship with food has changed, especially if it changes quite substantially. It is a massive source of joy for me. I am a foodaholic. I love chocolate. Anytime I want to celebrate, go out and have a big meal. The joy of having a takeout, I get so excited getting a takeout. And if those sources of joy go, will they be replaced with other sources, or will I'd just be left with less joy in my life because my relationship with food has changed. So that's why the relationship with food is number 4, because actually it's quite a severe concern for me because food is such a big part of my life. Number 3 is nausea after the surgery. A lot of people say you'll be nauseous. Even long term after the surgery, if you've overeaten, you're very nauseous. And I hate nausea. So I'm concerned. People saying every time you take a sip of water for many weeks after the surgery, you're nauseous. And I'm just like, oh gosh, I really hate nausea. So that's quite a big concern. And number 2 is pain, which links quite closely with it. All the people I've been listening to on YouTube say that the surgery pain itself isn't that bad. It's fine. And you are given painkillers. They all say that the worst pain is the gas pain, because they fill your abdomen with gas so they can find their way around. And that gas has to then dissipate, and it's usually referred into your shoulders because of where the nerves are. So you get referred pain in your shoulders, and apparently that is agony. And I was thinking, oh, great. And the painkillers aren't very good at dealing with that type of pain. So pain is number 2. So that's a severe concern, and that's a short-term concern. I'm worried about the early pain. So I'm looking forward to striking that one on the list when the pain's gone, and then focusing on all my other concerns. Number 1, my top concern is failure. That I will be another gastric sleeve failure. They happen. I haven't got the statistics. I tried to find some actually of what percentage after 5 years or 10 years fail in terms of weight loss. Everybody who has the gastric sleeve loses weight. That's not the failure. It's the don't keep the weight off is the failure. And that is my biggest fear, because I'm spending a lot of money going through quite a lot to get this surgery, because the number 1 thing I want in the world is to be slim. And the self-loathing that comes with that, the fact that I hate the way I look, the fact that it has quite a big impact on my quality of life, my weight does, and my health. I feel different when I'm overweight. Exercise is really difficult. There's joint pain, there's bad skin, it's just not good. But the number 1 thing I want is to lose weight, and yet I was unable to do it. So there was this constant feeling of failure. So only do you hate the way you are, but you feel like a failure with the weight. So it's the thing that I just so desperately want to change, and I've never really been capable of changing for more than a really short amount of time. The weight always goes back on. So that's my experience. I've literally tried everything, and I know I'm the issue. It's not that the diets that I do don't work. Of course they work, but I don't work. I'm the problem. And I'm just terrified that this will be another failed attempt, because this is the most extreme of my attempts. It's the most expensive. It's the most impactful on my life, on my husband, who's been wonderful, but is clearly quite nervous and frightened and is going to have to take care of me. So I'm terrified that it won't work. That one gets me close to crying kind of level of I'm concerned. So those are my fears to do with the gastric sleeve. And right now I'm not certain it was a good idea to list them all like that, because I wasn't that worried. And having sat here, listed them all, thought about them and ranked them is really bringing them home. So now I'm more worried than I was before I did this video. But I will be keeping you posted about all of these issues. So I'll be letting you know soon after the surgery how the pain is, how the nausea is, all of that. And then later down the road, we're talking about my kind of relationship with food and all of those things to see, are these fears founded or not? Okay, so if you'd like to follow that, please do subscribe below. And if you do have any questions for me, please pop them in the comments and I will be happy to answer them. Thank you for watching. Bye.